A very good morning. I'm back to Dr. Sim, the lecturer in charge for Group 2 of Scientific Communication and Research Ethics, and also to all my batchmates. Chemically modified biochar for nutrient removal in water is my proposed topic that I am going to present today. For the introduction, as we realize, in Malaysia nowadays, the amount of water pollution is getting out of control. It is getting worse day by day. Other than because of the rubbish that being thrown into the water, into the ocean, the water pollution also happen because of the amount of nutrient that increasing and out of control. What is the nutrient? The nutrient is such a heavy metal that presents in the water which is harmful for us human to consume. Therefore, I would love to propose a chemical modified biochar in order to tame this problem. For the literature review that I have done for the modification of the biochar, it was divided into two parts, which is chemically modified and physically modified. The chemically modified biochar was divided into three parts, which is acid modification, alkalinity modification, and also oxidizing agent modification. For the acidic modification, first of all, it helps in remove the impurities that presents on the surface of the biochar. Other than that, the different concentration of acid able to change the surface area of the biochar. Therefore, the optimum concentration of acid is important in order to produce a large surface area of biochar for better absorption. Next, we proceed to the alkaline modification. Alkaline modification helps in increase the oxygen-containing functional group of the biochar. It also affects the surface area of biochar, but it depends on the types of biochar feedstock that we prepare. And lastly, the oxidizing agent modification, it helps in increasing the oxygen-containing functional group on the biochar, which is same function as the alkaline modification. Then, the problem statement of this proposal is the biochar used to tame the water pollution issue. However, the raw biochar is unable to remove the nutrient in the water, but a chemically modified biochar able to remove the nutrient in the water. Now, I proceed to the objective of this proposal. The objective of this proposal is first, it is to modify the biochar for environmental purpose, which is to remove the nutrient that presents in the water. Then, it helps to compare the chemical modification approach, which is acid modification, alkaline modification, and oxidizing agent modification. And lastly, to study the efficiency of the chemical modification for nutrient removal in the water. It's like we need to identify which type of chemical modification is more efficient. Is it acid modification, or is it alkaline, or is it oxidizing agent modification? I proceed to the material and the method of this proposal. Firstly, we need to select a raw material, which is, in this case, I choose sugarcane straw, and I collect it from the ethanol production. Then, the pyrolysis process will be done in order to produce biochar, and it will be done under a free oxygen condition of biochar, and the range temperature will be 300 degrees Celsius to 900 degrees Celsius. Then the characterization of material. Then the characterization process will be done, where we need to characterize the material component that presents in the biochar. So firstly, X-ray diffraction XRD 6000 will be used to analyze the carbon crystallized. And then the FTIR spectroscopy also will be used to collect the FTIR spectra of the biochar in range of 4,000 to 400 centimeter. -1. Then, we need to analyze the morphology of biochar. In this case, we will use the scanning electron microscope GSMIT 800. Then we'll proceed to identify the molar fraction of the chemical composition in the biochar, which in this case we use energy dispersive X-ray. And finally, we will use the X-ray photoelectron spectroscopy in order for K alpha to carry out a chemical surface evaluation of raw biochar. And the next step is we need to determine the concentration of aluminium that we needed in doping process. And finally, the nutrient absorption isotherm will be collected using the UV spectrophotometer. Then I will proceed to the expected outcome of this proposal, which is firstly, the modification process of this proposal of this experiment will be done smoothly and precisely in order to produce suitable physiochemical properties of the biochar by increasing the surface area of the biochar and improve the capacity of biochar in order to absorb the nutrient that we need to remove it from the water. Then I will proceed with the work schedule of this proposal, where the selection proposal topic was done on February, and the proposal writing was done from February to April, and the sample presentation analysis and data analysis was done on April and May, and the data validation was done on May and June, and the report writing was done on May, June, and July, and lastly, presentation will be done in July, which is now. Then I'll proceed with the references. These are the references that I managed to list, which I get from my report proposal, and this one is that I use in this slide. So that's all from me. Thank you.